Hello and welcome to this introduction to the course History of the Jews in Poland. The Jews in Poland were a community which spanned more than 6 centuries and established one of the largest and most consequential Jewish diaspora communities in history. This course will look at the entire history of this community, which was almost completely annihilated during World War II and the Holocaust. We will start in the medieval period and look why Jews showed up in Eastern Central Europe in places like Moravia, Hungary, Poland, Lithuania, and go from there and investigate how and why Jewish communities emerged, what were the conditions, what were the legal conditions, what were the societal conditions for this emergence. We'll look into the establishment of a communal structure, which was actually a quite unique feature in Jewish diasporic history. Very few Jewish communities established such a complex and durable communal structure as the Jews in Eastern Central Europe, and most importantly in Poland, Lithuania. We'll look into the history of this community as a religious community. So we will look at the guiding principles, the guiding religious convictions in this community, but also the challenges to this religious communities in the emergence of messianic movements such as Sabbateanism or the so-called Contra-Talmudists or Frankists in the 18th century, and obviously also looking at the emergence of Hasidism in the mid-18th century, one of the most momentous challenges to the hegemony of rabbinical Judaism in diasporic history. All that will be combined with a very thorough analysis of political history. What was the place of Jews in wider society? What were the legal and political developments? We'll look at Jewish, non-Jewish relations, including obvious questions of forms of cohabitation, of acculturation or the lack of that, and also the long tradition of Jew hatred or Judeophobia and anti-Semitism. We look into the history of gender. Gender as a historical category played a major role in this history. I mean, you see here the cover history. That's Pauline Wengerhoff, one of the most important memorists in Eastern European Jewish literature, but also history of the body. This is a part of the story which is not often told, and I believe has a lot to teach us. Obviously, the dramatic history of the 20th century will be very important. We will look at the impact of World War I, the end of the empires, end of the Austrian Empire, end of the Russian Empire, the impact of a growing anti-Semitism, and obviously the growing threat through fascism in its, above all, in its German embodiment, National Socialism, with devastating consequences during World War II and the Holocaust, which practically ended the existence of the Eastern European Jewish community, including the Polish Jewish community, with 90%, 85 to 90% of this community destroyed. But we will obviously look into the history of those Jews who survived, both in the Soviet Union and in hiding, or as forced laborers, for example, and look at the position of Jews in post-war Poland, the very special relationship between Jews and communism, both as a topos in history, but also as a societal and political reality. This history is a very complex And this course attempts to introduce one of the most fascinating chapters in Jewish diasporic history to somebody, to you, and because you, in order to do this as a academic specialization, you need something like 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 8 languages, depending on which period you look at and what development you look at. We will all read everything in English translation, so you don't need Yiddish or Hebrew or Polish or Russian to take this course. It helps, it widens the horizon, obviously, and I welcome that very much. But it is not a prerequisite to take this course. It will be assessed through essays. It's a full-year course, so there will be 2 essays, a number of short quizzes, and 1 slide presentation. Due to the current circumstances, this course will be taught remotely, as will be standard throughout this academic year 2021. I have very significantly expanded my office hours in order to allow us to meet in person in very small groups or one-to-one, as much as possible, depending on the guidance which will be out at any given point in time. I very much look forward to this class, not in the least because there will, on top of that, be a number of really wonderful events organized by the Institute for Polish-Jewish Studies, in which I am involved. We have a lineup of 8 to 10 events, including workshops, conferences, talks, book launches, and I will certainly advertise these events early on, and I hope you will be able to join and willing to join. In any case, I hope you will find this course interesting. In case you have any questions, please drop me an email, and I very much look forward to meeting you very soon. Take care.